From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, November 22nd, 2016. Silver is trading at $16.76 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,215 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 0.5 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $747. Antiwar.com reports in a move which seems almost certain to fail, Turkey's government is once again stepping up calls for the U.S. to immediately agree to impose a no-fly zone across Syria, insisting the flurry of airstrikes around Aleppo over the past week justify the move. Turkey has been harping on about a U.S. no-fly zone for years, primarily intending for such a zone to set up an area for Syrian refugees to move around inside of Syria, reducing the numbers flowing into Turkey. Such plans were repeatedly endorsed by Hillary Clinton during the presidential campaign. President-elect Donald Trump, however, panned the idea during the debates and is seen shifting the U.S. forces in Syria towards fighting the Islamic State, not towards onerous military operations meant to deny the Syrian and Russian militaries access to Syrian airspace. Even if Trump was so inclined, which he is not, a no-fly zone has been seen as virtually impossible for months since Russia moved advanced S-300 anti-aircraft missiles into Syria to protect their bases in Latakia province. Those missile systems effectively give Russia control over Syria's airspace, and for the U.S. to impose a no-fly zone would require a massive air battle with Russia, which would be all but guaranteed to cost a large number of U.S. warplanes. For nearly 40 years, Robertson Roberts brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports federal election officials have found more than 1,000 potential errors on the Trump campaign's October FEC report involving incorrectly reporting contributions that totaled more than $1 million, according to officials. The FEC said it identified about 1,100 errors involving contributions worth about $1.3 million listed on the campaign's October disclosure report and have asked the president-elect's team to fix them. In a letter to Trump campaign treasurer Timothy Jost, dated Sunday, the commission identified 5 areas in which the violations were found. The FEC said some of the contributions Donald Trump's campaign received were not from groups properly registered with the commission, and in some cases the amounts exceeded legal limits. The commission asked in the letter for clarifications regarding the potential errors. The FEC also told the campaign it must refund any donations found to be from unregistered groups or those exceeding federal limits. Trump's campaign has until December 27th to respond to the commission's notice. The Hill reported on November 2nd that Trump previously said his campaign raised more than $100 million in October in small-scale donations from 1.6 million donors. Such letters from the FEC are fairly common. Former Democratic candidate and independent Senator Bernie Sanders received one in May, and President Obama was notified of possible errors in fundraising in the past. In 2115 New England, there are no borders, no states, and no regulations, yet never has a more peaceful and prosperous place existed. But Mr. Drake's security company has seen better days. Faced with the prospect of waning power, Mr. Drake intends to replace the anarchy of New England with a government. But at what cost? And can anyone stop him? Anarchy in New England by Joe Jarvis is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. Reuters reports a bus carrying elementary school students home from school in Chattanooga, Tennessee, crashed on Monday afternoon, killing at least 6 children and sending nearly 24 to a hospital with injuries, according to authorities. Chattanooga Police Chief Fred Fletcher said speed appeared to have contributed to the accident. The accident left the bright yellow school bus wrapped around a tree, mangled and nearly severed in two. 2 hours after the crash, rescue teams were still sifting through the wreckage of the bus, which was resting on its side. A spokeswoman for the Hamilton County District Attorney's Office said 5 children were found dead inside the vehicle, which normally carries 35 passengers, and 1 student died at a hospital. It was not clear how many students were riding in the bus at the time of the crash. The students ranged from kindergarten through 5th grade, which would make them roughly ages 5 through 10. The National Transportation Safety Board said federal investigators were opening a probe into the crash and plan to send a team to Chattanooga on Tuesday. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.